You can say whatever you like. You have to describe yourself in
just
30 seconds, man.
I'm Luca Bish.
You can do whatever you want.
And I was on Love Island.
There you go. Say whatever you want down the camera.
I'm Luca Bish and I'm Gemma Owen's boyfriend.
There we go. Hey, Luca, welcome. Welcome to the podcast, baby. Dude, I by the way, this is how we start. We normally start with just being a bit casual. I'm so excited to have you on.
I'm excited to be here.
Mate, honestly, for some reason with this year's Love Island, I used to watch Love Island back in the day. Maybe the first second.
You've been obsessed this year.
I'm obsessed.
I don't think you used to watch it that much.
It's the greatest TV in the world. It's the greatest casting that has ever been. I'm watching another TV show at the moment, which I think it's similar casting, Succession and Love Island. The casting is, why was this year's Love Island so popular? What do you think about, why do you think that was?
Thank Henry and Sam.
Who's Henry and Sam?
They're the head casters.
Really?
No, I don't know. I know a lot of the boys would. I don't know.
It was amazing.
Because there was a lot of people. Usually, you don't get a lot of people that apply, but this year, a lot of people applied.
Really?
So maybe it's just the right year for everyone to come on.
How does it work though with you? So when you want to go on something like Love Island, how do you apply? Because I imagine it's something like back in the day when I used to go and do sunbeds back in the day, right? This is a weird tangent. When I used to go and do sunbeds when I was at university, I used to have to like sneak in there because I was embarrassed about people seeing me. And when I first started doing MIC, I was like, didn't want anyone to know. So it was something like Love Island when you sign up to it. Were you saying to everyone that you'd signed up?
You're not really allowed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you're doing any good,
yeah,
on your application, sort of, you've got to a few steps in.
Yeah.
Basically, you can't tell anyone. It's got to be a shock for anyone that you're in there. So when I left to go on there, I actually told my mates I was doing a season out in Ibiza.
You become like a secret agent. You're not allowed to talk about your line of profession.
Listen, I think a lot of people would tell their best friends. So 3 or 4 of mine knew. But as soon as I told like work, like my dad's, obviously I work for my dad, but people in his factory and stuff like that, I was like, yeah, I'm doing a season in Ibiza. I just want to enjoy myself. I'm young. Like, it's now or never. I'm single.
Holy shit. So when you then appear on the show, people that you knew and stuff like that must have gone absolutely wild.
My cousins, a few of them worked for my dad, and they were wound up that they didn't know. So yeah, and mates and football teams you played for, everyone's popping up, I imagine, on my WhatsApp and stuff like that. Kind of like, where's this come from? Why hasn't? Because I've got the biggest mouth, and for me to hold this in, it was hard.
So let's go back. Okay, because I want to know everything. So let's go back to the beginning. So how does it work when you want to sign up to something like Love Island? Do you have to go onto like the ITV website? How does it work?
I'm not sure how it works. I got a DM basically saying, right, I think a few people.
You're the special one.
Nah, but like you get like a message and then you go through there. But like I done a Zoom call, was like the first ever thing I ever done, and it was like they basically meet you for the first time with one of their casters and stuff like that, and it was sell yourself basically. Make sure you're funny. Make sure you look half decent.
It's the worst.
It's so intense having to do that, like perform like that.
Yeah. You want me to tell a joke? You want me to tell a joke? I'll fucking tell a joke.
They ask about your life,
what
you do, if you know any people that have been on it and stuff like that, and want to know. Obviously, everyone in their area, I think, has had someone on Love Island.
Really?
If you know anyone like that, but and then I was speaking to him about it when I come out, like how did it actually work. So once after I had my Zoom call, what happened? And basically, one of them on there, he was like, you basically put in a band like look at, or like, no, this guy, you need to look at him, and then it goes from there.
It's funny on those interviews because you'll be overthinking it so much, and I imagine they'll be like, so what do you love? And you'll be like, dating. I just really love falling in love. That's what I love.
I love islands.
Yeah,
I love
islands. Love working out. I love being in my underwear.
That was the opposite to mine. But
that's
like,
probably why they loved you though, right?
They were like, oh, so you're looking for love? And in the interview, you're gonna have to say, yeah, you are so desperate to find love. Obviously, I went on there for a good laugh, and what would be. I'd never in a million years did I think I'd actually meet someone.
Because when you were going out for a season in Ibiza, you're probably looking for love there as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Going out to Ibiza for a season just to find love. That's what I want to do. So had you watched the series before and things like that?
I'm not gonna lie. I've watched, I think, one series and not everything on it.
Yeah.
I don't even think I watched the final. It was the Jack and Danny year.
Yeah. I saw that year as well.
Other than that, I haven't really watched any.
Really? And what
which
is
is quite bad.
No, it's not bad. I think that's actually a much better way, because I think what happens sometimes with this stuff, I don't know, is that if you're like a huge fan of the show, which I'm sure some people probably were.
Go to Danica. You could. I was like, what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen this week?
No way.
She's like, well, in this series, and work out what we sort of was going to happen, and we were like, what?
Are you serious?
Any time, any week, she would know what happened.
What?
She's like the oracle. You go to like, what's happening next?
Yeah.
Danica studied Love Island.
Are you serious? That's why she stayed on, because she was like, I know what's happening here.
Yeah.
Are you? Because I would always think like, there's always like a sort of going back to what we said about earlier about logic, right?
Mm.
If you experience in like an area or a place or a business or whatever it is, if you know a lot about it, it's quite hard to then be naive to the situation.
Yeah.
Because then you plan it,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't have planned anything.
The only thing knew was coming, which I think they say every year, it might not happen. Casa Amor. I think everyone knows Casa.
I didn't even know what that was until
No?
this series. No, I knew the name, but that's where everyone just goes and like hooks up
Yeah.
with everyone.
That's where the trouble happens. That's where I think it gets the most engagement, is when the boys or the girls go off to Casa Amor, and it's like, well, who's gonna fuck up?
Yeah, that's
Or
it.
not fuck up, but whose head's gonna turn?
It's who's gonna fuck up.
Yeah.
That's literally what
Yeah.
it is. This is so we'll explain to you. So by the way, guys, we said Midden's never watched Love Island. He's seen one episode. Casa Amor is where you basically either you're coupled up, but you then separate yourselves, and the girls go one place, guys go one place, and it's like a lad's holiday and a girls' holiday, and they bring in more girls and guys, and they see if they cheat.
Pretty much the equivalent of like the away seasons that we did on
Main Chelsea is exactly the same thing.
Nothing good usually comes of a lad's holiday, does it? Other than a few laughs, but
Nothing. Literally nothing.
nothing.
Everyone wants to know this whole Billy thing.
Billy.
What is all this shit
What happened
about?
with Billy?
Well, it says,
Go on.
explain it. Come on, let's go in on it, because it's bullshit.
Fucking hell.
This guy Billy walks in. He's in Casa Amor. He
Gets with Tasha.
He gets with Tasha. He then he has a couple of words with Gemma. He believes that he's like floating. Luca, of course, you're in a villa. It's all about Love Island. You get a bit sensitive. Of course, any bloke would. He then comes out and he starts splurting around the place. Yeah, I could have got her. Could have got her.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
I've been in the villa. I don't know when he come out. I don't really care. All I cared about was he had my shoes on to give them back. But as soon as we come out, all I'm saying is Billy could have got Gemma. Billy said this. Billy said that. I'm like, what is going on?
It's all nonsense.
Yeah. And listen, I've seen stuff back and things like that. Because at the time, movie night, I watched something and got wound up and lost my head. He told me he was confused, and I, for some reason, believed him. And I've come now, and I just look like the biggest idiot.
What do you mean confused? What was it? I don't get it.
Gemma was giving him some impression.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I was like, mate, I've watched it back. Like, it was like he was flirting with, like, he could have
With a
flirted.
wall,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was. Gemma was just smiling. Like, she has nice teeth, but it doesn't mean you're getting confused, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a nice lad and finds himself really funny, but does he actually think he could get Gemma over? Listen, if Gemma wanted you, she would have had you.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
It's true though.
Yeah.
And does it come competitive in the villa at some points in terms of
I'm competitive with everything. Do you see the race with Davide in the pool?
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
losing my head. Like, no, you won't beat me. Like, everything is like a challenge.
you and Jax had this great bromance. And
Yeah.
He came out, and then Paige,
Got with Adam.
Adam Collard, who was in one of the other seasons, he suddenly strolls in. Yeah, he strolls in. And the funniest bit was when you suddenly saw this guy walking, you're like, oh, hello, how you doing?
I actually thought he was there for a lecture. Or like, not a lecture, but like
For a lecture?
to like tell us what was going on, or like, or what's going on here. Or I swear, ask anyone in there. I was like, is he here to like tell us something? And then it was like quickly like, no, I'm back, baby. Like, oh.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I'm back.
Told you I'd be back.
I told you I'd be back.
Yeah. No, I was kind of like, wow. The reason me and him were so upset at that point was because we were both feeling the exact same and going through the same thing. The only difference for him, he just got through the Jay situation where Jay tried with Paige and he was sleeping next to her. Do you see how like it could affect your head? And then Adam walks in and Gemma said no straight away, like close the door or whatever. And Paige has been open because of Jax's situation in Casa. And his emotions were all over the place and it just started to get the better of him, unfortunately. And that, you could see it so much, and that's why we had the little breakdown.
The moment, which was one of the, I think it's one of the greatest TV moments of all time. And I hadn't tweeted, I don't think, in years, and I tweeted saying the producers deserve a medal. Was when the Andrew walks over to Tash and goes, "Yeah, I sucked her tit."
I licked her tit or whatever.
I licked her tit, and it was the way he described it. That moment, and I felt sorry for Andrew because he went into like Casa Amor and he was like, "Just like this girl, Tash, don't really want to do anything." And then I had like a couple drinks. It was like, "Oh, screw it, I'll just go and have fun for eating," and then got nailed for it.
Another thing that
not been seen, right?
Had Andrew and Coco situation and stuff like this, not a lot of people know. We were standing there as boys, and before we went in, we got called to the outside the building. Before we went in, it was like, right, you lot are smashing it this year. The show is doing unbelievable.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is Casa Amor. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
So we were like,
what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
And I think every boy knew what that meant.
Tit.
Hence why you had a chaos first 2 days or whatever with the boys. It was like, I went to the beach, come on, like, who do you fancy the most? No, like, we need... And
I'm not into it.
Yeah, and, well, why are the boys being such pussies? They can't bottle it now. And I was like, oh, okay, I know what you're saying. Went out there, called them a bunch of pussies. You got to do what you got to do. Like,
yeah, got Andrew hyped up. And he was like, all right, boys, I'll do it.
And before Andrew had to pick that night, I think he actually wanted to stay single. Wait for Tasha.
Yeah.
An exec or something was said where I think a few boys got it. If you are there and your girl comes back with a boy, you don't know whether you're going home or not.
Oh shit! What? It's like proper
so it's like,
ultimatum.
this is where your mind's...
my God.
People don't understand.
That's why it's the greatest format. It's the greatest format.
Like, your brain is going. Like, listen, if Jem potentially came back with a boy or something like that, I knew it wouldn't happen deep down, but if she came back, I could have gone home bits.
How crushed would you have been if she'd walked in with someone? With Billy.
Don't be silly.
Oh, it's so true though. And then Andrew, the funniest line was Andrew in the dark saying, "Coco, I'm going to ruin you."
Yeah, oh no.
It's on camera, buddy. It's on camera. What are you doing?
He went wild for about a day and then that was it.
Oh,
and
dude.
then that whole day just came back to bite him in the arse.
Oh,
Coco kept dropping things in there like, oh, he said he wanted to ruin me. Okay, right, that's caused a little bit of thing. Actually, he licked my tit. And he's like, oh, didn't have enough, did you? I was like, oh my.
That was the icing.
And then Tasha was like, oh, I remember, it didn't get all shown what was said, but she went, because he's a liar. And David was like, that is my line, Tasha. I was like, oh, brilliant.
It's so good. Dude, the whole thing was insane. But then what happened? You finish, you come second. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
On like one of the great, ratings are through the roof.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? And it's because of casting, everything. I don't know, stars align, right? You come out and you go in and you're not famous. You come out and you're famous. And it's fame, which is wild.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? That's hectic.
Just don't go out.
Well, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Everyone watching you, everything.
Just go watch Jem horse ride. No one's there. Perfect. No, we go to M&S about 7 o'clock and it's empty. Like, I've just come out of like, I don't know, like my head was just...
You haven't seen people, right? Or
yeah.
You haven't seen
it was
anyone.
like, I was just so like, when me and Gemma were together, I was fine. But when I was in Brighton, she was up in Chester, it was like, when I was speaking to people, I was just zoning
disconnected.
out. Yeah, I was so disconnected. It was like, and it was scary. Like my friends were like, "We're here for you, like if you need you and stuff like you need us and stuff like that." And even the other night, one of my friends come to the premiere. He's like, "Are you feeling all right?" Like, because it's still sinking in and stuff like that. And I'm just a normal bloke, and
yeah.
the experience I went through, it was incredible, and I appreciate everything Love Island done for me and stuff like that. But also, I've come out to a lot of shit, and also my family, like seeing what my sister went through some nights where people were sending her stupid stuff on Instagram. It doesn't affect me personally, but when it affects my family or close ones, then it does. But
it drifts, man. It drifts into you. Of course it does.
But like, you've just come out of this experience where the last week or 2 weeks I was struggling, and then you come out to like, right, the public think this of you and that, and you're thinking, do they not understand what we're going? It's such a tough time. They're sitting by the pool, this and that. It's not as easy as that.
It's no ways easy, man. And dude, holy smoke! Anyone who's been on a lad's holiday or a girl's holiday or a hen do or a stag do or whatever it is, and you do it for 4 days, thank fucking God you leave at the end of it. You know what I mean? You have to be on it, funny, entertaining, this all the time. Imagine that for 6 weeks, 7, 8, 9,
11, I think.
11 weeks with millions and millions of people watching you at the same time. The pressure of that on any individual is wild. And then coming out and having to do yourself. I just want you, dude, I think I speak for, pretty much everyone. Press talk shit and they write stories and they do things. And you just have to constantly check yourself and just make sure that it is okay, because the anxiety does lift sometimes and it's hard.
Yeah.
And it's good that you and Jem have each other as well.
Yeah, that if I wasn't going through this experience with someone, I would have found it a lot harder. A lot. And listen, we come back home and you think we're at the airport, we've seen our families, right, we're going home. No, we're going to a hotel and waiting for this reunion, and then you got to film the reunion. And then after the reunion, you come back to the hotel, and then you go into meetings with brands and stuff like that.
Everyone wants a piece of you. Yeah. Every single person, man. And also, you're then trying to navigate your own way through it. You said the smartest thing, which is that you're just like, look, I'm just picking and choosing what I want to do carefully, where it's so easy right now to just go and grab everything on the shelf.
Yeah, no, that's not me. And hope, listen, if it doesn't work out, I'll go back to the fish market. I genuinely don't care. You got to remember what made you happy before going in Love Island and stuff like that. But if something good comes along that I think, wow, I actually want to work with that person, or I bought from them before, or wow, I inspired to be someone like that, and that's the path to do it, then I would. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. I'm not really too fussed, to be honest.
I saw that Jem just got a big deal.
Yeah.
Pretty little thing.
Am I allowed
right?
to say? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think it's in the press.
It
right?
is in the press, and they've released that she's done it, but she hasn't released anything. But.
Yeah, she hasn't released, but she
yeah,
that's
no,
huge,
I'm
man.
proud of her.
That's insane.
For 19 years old and a brand like that to come in for you, and
hey, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's insane. What do you think, if you like now, if you could pick what you wanted to do, what is your vision? What is it that you go, this is kind of the road where I want to head?
Do you know someone I look at and I think, wow.
Thanks,
I don't know
mate.
if you
don't need a
I do think that of you a lot, but do you know Josh Denzel?
Yeah.
That's such a cool thing to do, whether it's presenting or something, or just being around something like that with sport.
Yeah,
I think it's incredible. Especially,
dude, you would be freaking good at that. And you're obsessed with football, right? Ever since you were a kid.
Football, boxing, yeah.